In this video, I'm going to show you how you can organize your weekly engagement logs and how you can put them into a Google assignment each week for students to fill them out. So the first thing I did was I made a folder in Schoology for my weekly engagement logs. Now I'm demonstrating this in a standalone course, one that is not linked. And I did a link to a folder that has my logs. Originally, my idea was to copy and paste this and keep it in one Google Sheets document. However, the checkboxes don't come out very well when you do copy and paste. They say false instead of representing the checkbox. So I changed my mind and decided just to do a folder, and then I will do make a copy. I did right mouse click, make a copy. And then I'm going to name that the next week's log. Okay, so for now, I've got one for the first week of school and one for the second week of school. So on the first week of school, I have filled that out. So I have what I'm doing. And because it's the first day, I'm probably doing a little bit more minutes than I normally would. So I'm going to have the engagement log as an assignment, and I'm expecting it to take the students 15 minutes to do that because it's the first time they're doing it. So my total time was 70 minutes. But to get back to Schoology, I made the folder with the logs, and I just wanted to just go over that to share this link. When we have reviewed this in previous trainings, I just simply went to the share button, and I personally did anyone with the link. Remember, you can click change and choose any of these. I did anyone with the link so that parents could also view it, because I will probably make this my weekly agenda as well. So I just copy the link, and then of course when I go back to Schoology, I just have to add file or link. I'm going to choose link, and I'm going to paste it in and name it. And then of course don't forget to check this button, which will allow it to display in a new window. All right, and once you do that, it looks like this. So this is like a read-only version of my engagement log. Okay, so now to make the assignment. You're going to make an assignment every week. So I'm going to go to Add Materials, Add Assignment, and I'm going to name it. I'll probably name it the dates, and then probably put a description about why it's being required. And then I'm going to choose Google Drive Assignments. So when you choose Google Drive Assignments, it loads your Google Drive automatically, and you can see that right at the top, because the most recent thing I've made is my weekly engagement log folder. So if I click in that, I can actually choose the engagement logs for journalism. So I'll go ahead and do the one that I created for this first week of school. It's already filled out, and I'm going to hit attach. Now it's going to make a copy of this for every student. I'm going to make the due date the end of each week, regardless of which period they're in. So I'm, just to make it easy on myself, I'm going to make it for this week, Friday the 21st. I personally am making each log worth 5 points, so it's another incentive for students to go ahead and complete the log, because it will result in a few points for them. I'm going to I made a category in Schoology that says weekly logs, and there you have it. I'm just going to go ahead and hit create. So if I click on this, the nice thing is it makes a copy for everybody, and it will also show as a missing assignment. So parents will see it as a missing assignment, and maybe they'll prompt their students to fill it out. your advisory teachers, if you search in Schoology, you will also see whether or not they have turned that in. So it shows you progress, and what you're ultimately looking for is submissions. That will be when they've turned it in, and then you can go and grade it. Anyway, there will be a log every week, or a record of whether or not they've turned in their weekly log. Plus, it just makes it easy for you to track it. Now, it does create a folder in Google Drive. So if I go to my drive and I search Schoology, and I search Schoology Google, and it comes up, and here's my Schoology Google Drive folder with all of the Google assignments. I've been doing Google assignments for a couple of years, so there's a lot in here. So it's not terribly well organized in Google Drive, but you can definitely search and find it, and you can also just go back to the actual Schoology assignment and see it there as well. It takes you right to the Google Doc. Now I'm going to go to one of my linked classes. So I have 6 sections of this particular class. If I go to my engagement log folder, you'll notice that in my teacher log, I have just a weekly engagement log for all periods. So if I go into the log, you'll notice that we did need to separate odds and evens, but we are allowed, according to the district office, to be able to do one tab with odds and one with evens. So my first tab is my odd periods, and my second tab will be my even periods. This makes it really easy for us to assign one document for all our class periods that are linked through Schoology. Under submissions, you can see who has turned it in, and I do have one test submission. And so here it is. You can see it in this window. If you want to see it bigger, you can click open, and it'll open it in Google Drive. It's a little easier to see. You may not have time to go in and scrutinize each log. If you want to just give credit, no credit, I personally am doing 5 points. It's at your discretion as to what you would like to do for as far as points go. You can add a comment and check the box to share that comment with your student, and then hit save, and it'll be in the grade book. So there's also a faster way if you just want to do credit, no credit. If I go ahead and go to my gradebook for digital photography, and I wanted to point out that because the semester hasn't actually started yet, it doesn't show semester 1, but if I just click on semester 1, once the semester starts, that will be the default that will come up without you having to click on it. But you can see that it's in here. It's worth 5 points. If I go ahead and go to my 7th period, which is where my test submission was, if I scroll down, I see the one student who turned it in, and I already scored it. And you can see this little document here lets you know that they have submitted something. So if you wanted to just do credit, no credit, right here, you could just go, and anybody who had this little icon, you could give them points. Anyone who did not, you could mark it missing. But this will be an assignment that I have due at the end of every week for every class. And I think that's about it on weekly logs. Good luck, everybody.